Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Major Graft, and today we are going to be doing something just a little bit different. I know some of you may be wondering, where is Townie Tours? And don't worry, the next episode is going to be on its way really soon. Apologies, I have been away on my holidays over the last couple of weeks, so no uploads, but don't worry, we are going to be back in full swing and back looking at some amazing builds again over the next couple of weeks. And to kick us off with that, we are today on Shadow Kingdom's creative server. Yes, today we are looking at creative, and I have chosen to start with a build by a guy, JST, who is just a mind-bogglingly good builder, and you're going to see as we look around this is just one of his plots, one of his many builds on Shadow Kingdom, and you're going to see that this guy really is a true artist, and I mean that sincerely. He is an artist. So without further ado, let's get looking at today's plot. So here it is out in front of us. You can see the limits of each plot. You can see other people's plots in the background. Don't worry about them, try to ignore them. We may visit them in other episodes, but for now we're going to be looking at this beautiful scene here. The beautiful sailboats and cliffs and castle. On the surface, a really simple idea, a really kind of stripped down, not overly complicated plot, but you will see every detail is just immaculate. So let's dive right in and start having a look at some of the details in this plot. And first off, don't you just love that water? JST has got a beautiful way about him of really understanding how to make water look natural. You see, as they hit the cliffs, you see these swells and crashes of waves as they go up into those gullies. I just think that really brings that feeling of movement and life to the water. I think it's just a great job there. Even against those little islands there, you can really feel the salt spray. But the main events is down here. And first thing, before we even get to the boat, I want to look at is this. I'm going to show you my favourite thing first, and it's not the largest thing, but it is just the most adorable thing. Look at these orcas. They're not the biggest thing in the world, but they are so well done. They feel so alive, so in motion. You can just imagine them just launching and diving through the waves. I think they are gorgeous. I would love to be able to do that organic building that well. It is really something I would aspire to, but you've got to really hand it to JST. He has got some skills. It just is fantastic. And I love how he doesn't overcomplicate things. Even as you look at the little birds flying in the sky, they are literally 3-4 blocks each at times, and yet they really do feel completely at home in this build. They are utterly charming and wonderful. But enough of the wildlife, let's start to look at the structures. And look at this. You see plenty of people trying to build these big sailboats in Minecraft. Very few though do it with quite so much style as JST has done here. Not content to do a boat just flat in the water, JST has done this entire build on a slant, and my is it impressive. It genuinely just looks totally right. Somehow out of these mishmash of random blocks and stairs and blocks, when you come away from it and look from a distance, it just looks perfect. I would love to get an interview and just pick his brains to know how on earth that is done, because it just is baffling. And look at the palette, such a simple stripped back set of blocks, nothing overly complicated, but it works so well because it just makes the build feel coherent. You know, you can get a bit busy with a lot of block choices sometimes, but what JST does, and you'll see this throughout the whole of this build, is he takes simple sets of blocks and just works magic with them. I mean, look at the sails. You know, again, a lot of the time when you see these boats being made, these sails are always, you know, white wool, snow, typical white blocks, but JST's chosen to use the sandstone here and the birch wood just to give it that slightly yellowed, aged looks, and of course it gives you the stair blocks, which allows him to just get that slightly more curved, natural feel of cloth in the wind. It's just fantastic, and there is not even a small amount of these. There are, I think, 14 sails on this boat, and each one is completely different, in completely different positions, and yet all of them look like they're taking the same breeze. Such a hard thing to do. When you're positioning sails, it's very easy to make them look like they're all in different positions, but what JST has managed to do is make them all look like they're billowing in the same direction. The same breeze is pushing them all out, and it is just a wonderful, wonderful skill that he has. Again, looking at the ropes, he's not bothered to be too finicky about everything joining up. When you come up close, everything's floating slightly, but when you draw away from the build, it just doesn't matter. It just gives that feeling of the rigging holding all of this together, and it just works so beautifully. Now, as you can see, this keeling over sideways just follows through the whole build. As you can see, when we're on the deck here, everything's slightly off at a slant. All the masts there perfectly aligned, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful job. I'm sure you guys agree, it's going to take a lot of beating. For me, JST is absolutely one of my favourite builders on Shadow Kingdom, and possibly one of the better builders I've ever seen in Minecraft. As a solo builder, he is just amazing. So let's have a look at the structure. You can see here we start with this promontory, this tower on this island, like a lighthouse with a wonderful little glass blocks to give that feeling of fire, and then this wonderful bridge again on that angle. Again, not crazy block choices, just simple polished andesite, stone blocks, little bit of cobble, but it works so nicely. It just feels right. It feels solid enough, but not just overdone. Just a real trademark of subtlety leading up to this little sheltered area here, and then paths away into the distance through the trees that he's taken the time to do by hand. Lovely walls here, and I don't know, are these standing stones, are they? A feel of kind of being here from long, long ago, of other civilizations. Great little details. But then you see the path winding up here. Again, no faffing with straight lines here. Everything is subtly curved, and he just does this so well. There's this real feeling of sturdiness to all these legs, but each one is different to accommodate this beautiful curved staircase up into the main castle. And then here we are, drawbridge, beautifully done, simple but effective, and into the main build. And we're gonna look here again, nothing overly complicated. I've seen similar standards of building in the small details in lots of other people's, but it's just the way everything fits together so naturally. Now if you look as we go up and look at this from a distance, look at the angles of everything. You've got diagonals at the front gate, this straight section here and the towers, and then this main building here on again a slightly different angle. It just makes it feel more alive. Every wall is ever so slightly a different angle, and it just makes the whole place feel that little bit more organic, a little bit more alive. Now we're not going to spend too much time in here. It's really done nicely, little details of the mossy stone bricks, but not too much in the way of interiors, so we don't need to spend too much time in here. But I do want to point out this tiny little detail, lovely little well here, and as I was looking at this earlier I thought, oh, what's down here? And hey, down we go into the well, and he's bothered to put the whole path through. This water comes all the way out and turns into this lovely stream. Such an easily overlooked little details, but just make the build just that little bit more charming. I just love that. Now we've nearly done with the main details of this build, but I think another point to be made here that makes this feel organic and natural is look at the different heights of the different towers and the different heights of the different roofs. It's really easy to make everything the same or similar heights, but it just makes it feel a bit more natural, a bit more aesthetically pleasing to look at. That each tower is ever so slightly different heights. A wonderful little detail. And then down here, down the hillside, he sees you nice different blocks here to give the build that feeling of variety to the eye. And then down here is this lovely little cottage, very humble and charming, but around the back, look at this, he's left it half finished. Wonderful little detail, as if it's been abandoned. I think that's just a lovely imaginative little touch, as if this is a little cabin, little old farmhouse that's been abandoned and left to fall into ruin. But then we come back out over the sea, admire those cliffs, wonderfully made, overhanging there slightly, those coves with the treacherous waters. I think you'll agree this is a phenomenal plot. I'll leave it to you guys to decide after we've done a few more of these whether it's the best plot. There is a lot of competition, some amazing builders, but for a first plot to look at, it is, for my money, a beautiful, beautiful, simple build. We're going to go on to some crazy, strange and exotic in future episodes, but for now, guys, I hope you enjoyed a look around this plot. Guys, leave a like and a subscribe if you like JST's work, or even if you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to subscribe. We're going to be doing loads more of these looks at other people's plots in the future, so stay tuned for more episodes of this creative focus, and also for future Townie Tours videos, more coming soon. So guys, until the next time, I hope you're all having fun with Minecraft, and see you soon.